Hello, I'm Luca De Giglio, and this is the Web3 in Travel podcast, where you can learn about crypto, blockchain, and how the new internet will change travel. All right, so today I will talk to you about a specific open source software which is allowing for AI agents to go mainstream and also to use wallets. And this is the Eliza Framework. Not specifically because I want you to learn about, a software or a specific framework, but because it's a very concrete example of what's going to happen on the internet in general and in crypto and Web3 travel more specifically. But before that, I want to share with you a thought I had recently, which kind of crystallized a very long held belief I have, which is about hype, right? I'm sure if I look for this somewhere online, somebody has talked about this in the past. I'm not expecting to have very original thoughts here, but I think it's still worth sharing. And I will call this the hype fallacy. So the hype fallacy, in short, is when people say, well, this is just hype, and dismiss something, right? Where is the fallacy here? Well, the fallacy is in the fact that many times when they say it is just hype, it is not just hype. It is mostly hype, or there's a lot of hype, but there's something new beyond the hype. Let's do this with a metaphor, right? Suppose that you are at the beach and there are, averagely 1 meter high waves, right? And then some bigger waves come at the horizon. You cannot really see how big they are, but they are 20 meters high. Let's say 20 meters high, right? They're 10 times higher than the normal wave. But it's very far, so you can't really say if they exist, they are higher, or they are even more than 20 meters. So there's something new there. There's a 10x increase in the wave height. And some people will go like, wow, there's a tsunami coming and it's 200 meters. And everybody goes like, wow, it's a 200 meters. It's going to change everything. It's going to crash inland for 100 kilometers. Run away. Run to the highest mountain. And they run for the highest mountain. Someone in the crowd will say, come on. It's nothing. It's just hype. And they stay quietly on the beach until the 20 meters wave comes and crashes them. What was the fallacy here? Well, there was something very big, 10x, and they thought it was just hype. And they got crushed, right? So the same thing, this thing happens with very, very often. Of course, there are cases in which is just hype. Maybe the metaverse so far has been just hype. I don't know. But many things are not. If you were around when the internet started, if you weren't around, actually, it's gonna be very hard for you to believe that most mainstream media was saying that the internet was a fad, hype, just hype. You can't really buy stuff online. Who wants to use this thing? It's complicated, it's slow, it's cumbersome. And they had this hype fallacy. They saw the hype because the hype is 180 meters thing. So you see that the hype is in front of your eyes. It's blinding you from the fundamentals which are growing. They saw the hype of the internet where people were saying, the most stupid things like one day we will work online, or one day all our communications will be online. Even the phone network will be online, right? These crazy things, which then actually happened. But they were saying this as something which was going to happen in the next few years. Actually, it took much longer, right? So they saw the hype and they were blinded by it, and they didn't see the fundamentals. The 19 extra meters over the 1 meter wave that they were used to see, right? This thing happened with Bitcoin, right? Again, mainstream media and most people, I would say, said, well, it's just hype, it can't work. Everybody's talking about this, but there's nothing there. And the same thing is happening with AI or crypto, of course, in general. And I would say Web3 travel too, of course. So today I want to talk about AI because I keep hearing people saying it's just hype, and that's a fallacy. It's a great fallacy because, in a way, to overcome this fallacy, you have to be able to see through the hype. You have to kind of black out the hype and see what's behind it. So the thing to do is pretty simple. Look at what's actually happening. And how do you do that? Well, let me say how you don't do that. You don't do that by reading things online, right? You don't do that by of course, you don't read mainstream media. Mainstream media is totally clueless about technology in general. It's always having the bad take, which gets completely crushed a few years later, and they never take responsibility for it. So they switch from saying, Bitcoin is a scam for criminals to, Bitcoin ETFs are the best thing happened in the last years in finance. So and they have no shame about that, right? So forget mainstream media. What can you do? Well, what you shouldn't do is like reading stuff like only on Twitter or only on social media or only on whatever. It's not about reading. To see what's the fundamental beyond the hype, you actually have to use the technology as much as you can. And while this is not always possible, a red flag is when you cannot use it. So if you cannot use it, it means maybe it's really too early. Imagine AI before ChatGPT. Yeah, of course you could use it. You could go in some, like deep corner of the internet and find a way to train models or whatever, right? It really became something usable by most people with ChatGPT, and that was a good moment to actually say, okay, let's use this ChatGPT, and then you would immediately see that yes, there was a lot of hype. It couldn't really do many things. Yes, it was hallucinating, but you could also see that it was doing crazy things which were not possible before it, right? So you would have been able to actually size up the opportunity there and what was gonna happen in the future, right? So the question today is how do we? Okay, sorry. The next thing is like, okay, you don't have time to test everything, especially in these times where things happen so fast. Then maybe the next task for you is to find the right people to listen to, and that's a survival skill in today's world, right? You can't learn everything, and you cannot test everything. So you have to find the right person for the specific technology. And another danger, a bias or a fallacy, is to think that if a person is very good in X, this person is very good in Y too. We see this with Elon Musk, who often says really wrong things about cryptocurrencies or other things. So it's a job finding the right people to listen to, right? But if you do that, the returns are incredible and the protection is incredible. So yeah, either try things, study them and test them, or listen to the right people. How do you learn to listen to the right people? I don't know. I don't even know how to do it, and I don't know if I do it properly. It's really hard. For sure, a red flag is like if people simplify too much. Yeah, maybe if they simplify too much is not good. Even if a good teacher simplifies things first and then goes a bit more into detail. Anyway, AI agents are hyped, and especially in the last couple of weeks, since basically around Christmas to now, there's been an explosion in AI agents in crypto, with corresponding token prices jumping up. The meme coin trade is kind of dead for the moment. Now is the AI coin trade. I bought several coins which doubled very quickly, and I sold half of the position. So I got many coins which costed me nothing, and I just now keep them for the long term. Fundamental coins which are, I think, connected to very, very, very interesting platforms. I mean, the last thing which was so interesting was DeFi, in my opinion. NFTs was different, but DeFi was like a technological revolution which unlocked new things, and these crypto AI agents is also unlocking lots of things. So let me be the guy who helps you navigate a little bit, give you an introduction into this new world of crypto AI agents. And I want to do this not at the theoretical level as I did maybe in the last episode, but at the very, very, very practical level. And I'm going to do this by talking to you about this framework, the Eliza Framework, which I've been studying for the last, I don't know, maybe a month or two, or maybe a month actually. And let me put this in a chronological order, right? How I got there, and then I will tell you what it is, and I will give you more details of its possibilities and capabilities. All right. First of all, since Claude 3.5, I may have shared this. I'm sure I've shared this in the podcast. I started programming again because it was, it is very efficient. Not compared to a good developer, but compared to my level. I couldn't develop, or I was very bad at it. Now I can develop stuff, right? So I started developing things, and in the last maybe 3-4 months, I started developing AI agents. Nothing serious, more like proof of concept stuff I wanted to build, to learn how to build. And I had started building this very interesting, in my opinion, Discord channel where I would have 3 agents discussing with me, and potentially then with other people I would invite, if we had reached the top of the market and it was time to sell. So how I would do that, I would create 3 agents. They would have different personalities. One was an optimist, one was a pessimist, one was like an analyst. And I will tell them, oh, look, now today, I don't know, the Coinbase app is first on the Apple Store. That's a top signal. And they would discuss about that. And I would keep a list of signals, like a database of signals where you have all the signals which have been reached, right? Is it something which, would have worked, like would have given me the chance to get out of the market before the crash? Of course not. This is very difficult, right? It's a mix of data and interpreting the public sentiment, and also maybe forecasting the next Black Swan event, the next FTX or whatever. I have never expected this to be efficient, apart from allowing me to focus a little bit more on these signals than I did in previous cycles, and so be more, allow my brain to be more focused on this. That's all. But the whole idea was to learn to build AI agents, and I did it. I was able to do this. I got stuck, can't remember on what, but yeah, something with Discord, I don't remember. I kind of got stuck a little bit. It worked. But then I realized that, yes, well, I built, I had to build not only the agent, but the whole framework to support these agents. And then I discovered, as many other people did, this is not like some secret thing, the Eliza Framework. What's a framework in general? A framework is simply some software which does most of the work, and then you just do the last mile, right? So this framework is conceived to launch AI agents. And you basically, in theory, should just create your agent on top of it. We are talking about coding. We are talking about downloading the software and then modifying the software. No, we're not talking about drag and drop stuff, right? Which, those things actually do exist. Is more like drag and drop, no code things, like, for instance, the virtual agents network. And yeah, so I basically rebuilt, I'm actually rebuilding, I haven't done it yet. I rebuilt this top signals app with the Eliza framework, and of course it's much faster, solid, safe, secure, stable, extendable, etc., etc. And its biggest power here is that there are plugins. So people are creating functionalities and they share them so I can use them. For instance, I connect my agents to the Coinbase agent kit and give them a wallet and tell them to swap tokens, buy tokens, which is kind of the same thing, isn't it? Launch tokens, maybe create NFTs, etc., etc. We're going to go a little bit more in detail soon about these capabilities. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm learning this framework as much as I can, and then I will be able to launch many kinds of projects on it. So whatever I'm doing in AI, it could be done on the Eliza framework in 10x better. So before we deep dive into it, let me answer a few questions you may have here. Is this the only framework available? Is it the best? No. There are many frameworks out there, and there are going to be many more. This is just one which has captured the attention of the developer community. So you have many developers improving the framework and adding plugins. 6 months from now, maybe this is abandoned and people are using a different one. I don't know. This is what I'm using, but it doesn't matter. The concept is that there's a framework which can be used, right? Another question you may ask is like, shall I use it for my project to launch agents? It depends. If you want to launch a very simple agent or a very specific agent, maybe you can build it from scratch. You don't need to use a framework. Frameworks always come with some technological debt. You are integrating a bigger thing and things can change, etc. What else could you ask? What about drag and drops? Yeah, maybe, if you want to build something, let's say we have a Web3 and travel startup and you're looking at agents, maybe you can use some other software which is more centralized and which gives you less freedom to adapt, but it's much easier to integrate, right? It's also possible. A very good way in which the developer of the Eliza framework explained this is that the LLMs, so the GPT, the Claude, the Gemini, etc., and I'm talking about the LLMs, not the apps, not the ChatGPT, the GPT, right? The LLM itself. These are the brains. They are brains for rent, right? When you connect to a GPT API, you are renting a brain. So these are the brains, and the Eliza framework is the body, right? If you take an LLM by itself, it does nothing. You need a body to make it do things, and ChatGPT is a body for GPT, all right? And the Eliza framework allows you to create bodies for these LLMs. Bodies like ChatGPT, well, ChatGPT is a chat, yes, it does one thing, but agents are much more independent than a chat. They can do things by themselves. I wrote this tweet/LinkedIn post this morning, which I think is also very useful. I basically said, I'm paraphrasing, I don't have it in front of me, that, okay, imagine drones. Like, you have a drone and you control it with your controller and you fly it around. This is ChatGPT. You tell the LLM what to do, right? And then you bring it back. Then there's another kind of drone, a drone which basically leaves. This drone has to go and, seed the fields. I don't know what drones do these days. Just go out there, seed the fields or collect information, right? Fly around for an hour, collect information, and come back and do this by yourself, and you launch it and 1 hour later it comes back. This is more like an agent. You gave it a task, it performed the task, and it came back. You can see this in practice with Gemini Deep Research. That's actually fantastic. You should try it. You have to pay $20, but the first month is free, so you don't pay actually. So you go on Gemini, you look for Gemini Deep Research, you open the subscription, you put your card, I think, you cancel the subscription 1 minute later, so you don't forget later to do it. And then it keeps going for a month. And you just say, Gemini, make me a research on this subject. And it goes out, it searches for 100 websites, and it comes back and it writes a Google Docs for you with the whole research. How efficient? Well, still not perfect, but incredible to see, because you can actually see the future there. You can see also its limitations, but you can see the future is like, it's crazy with these agents. Third level is like a swarm of agents. Like, those drones kind of plays in the sky, especially the Chinese are very good at that, right? You have they instead of fireworks, they launch these drones and they make dragons and stuff, which is kind of pretty scary. these are swarm of agents. Like I told you, the one agent you send out to do one thing, and he comes back and he gives you the thing, he did the thing he had to do. Swarms of agents are more than one agent, maybe 10, maybe 100, maybe 1,000, which go out and do a thing, and they coordinate amongst each other, right? So they can do probably much more. Now, the last level of this is swarm of agents with money, with crypto wallets. Now, an agent can do certain things, or it can pay another agent to do another thing. And believe me or not, this happened already on Twitter. I think a week ago, an agent from virtual network called Luna paid another agent to create some design, and the other agent created the design, and Luna paid in cryptocurrency the second agent. Or these agents can pay people. That's where it gets scary. Like agents cannot do everything, right? AI cannot do everything, but if they can pay people to do things for them, well, that really enhances their capabilities to crazy levels. And all I'm telling you here now, it's kind of 2-3 months old stuff. Coinbase, the chain of Coinbase, started with this agent kit software, making it easy for AIs to connect to wallets, and others did it, and now it's becoming easier and easier to do. When an agent which is able to think about things and to plan and to create things can pay people to do things for them, well, you can imagine that now it can do basically everything. Imagine an agent with $1 billion. They can pay people, if they offer you $1 million to do something, would you do it? Right? Rather than be paid, I don't know, $1,000 anywhere else. So yeah, that's the level of disruption we're talking about. This is beyond anything else. Any technology we have seen before was kind of self-contained. Maybe the internet was the only one which really was permeating everything, right? But that was also only and I say only, between quotes, right? Only in the realm of information. This is getting beyond that. It's leveraging crypto for payments, and it's using cognitive capabilities. We are really in a new world here. So I kind of lost my train of thought here, but I described you this agent. Like ChatGPT thing, AI basically, then agents, then swarm of agents, and then swarms of agents with money, right? And all of this can be built on the Eliza framework, right? So maybe the fastest way today to build this is the Eliza framework. And the founder is very keen on working on swarms. So I guess a lot of innovation in that area will come from the Eliza framework, or in other words, the Eliza framework will allow us to build swarms of agents. Now, maybe let's do it like this. I'm gonna open the code of the Eliza framework, and I'm gonna try to see what a Web3 travel startup can do to leverage it. Okay? Yeah, I think this is the best way. So I have the code in front of me, and I go straight into the folder called packages. And in the packages, you basically see all the things which anyone can add. So first of all, you see the capabilities it already has, and it shows you where you can add your own things. So the first one is adapter Postgres, and which basically means is an adapter for a database. It's part of the core. It's like where you can save the memories and other things, right? Then there are other adapters for other kinds of databases like Redis, SQLite, etc. Then there's a very interesting subsection of this, which is not adapters, which again are databases basically. It's clients. What is a client? And let me introduce you here the concept of AI agents come where you are. You don't have to bring people to them. They come where you are. This is extremely important. If you have a startup in the Web3 travel space, you don't have to create an agent and then tell people, please come to see my agent. You tell your agent, go where the users are. Let's see this client. The first client I see is Auto, and I'm going to read exactly what it does. It's a component of the Eliza Framework that enables automated interactions and trading capabilities. This client is particularly relevant in the context of Eliza OS, where autonomous agents need to perform automated operations. For example, it's used in scenarios where AI agents like Mark Andreessen need to execute automated trading strategies or interact with various platforms autonomously. It basically makes the agents do things by themselves without coming back and asking for further instructions. Which is kind of the whole idea of agents. Client direct. This is where you can actually create a website. So you could actually create a website, put the agent there, and tell people, come to my website. Or if you have a website already, put your agent in your own website. Then there is client like Discord. So your agents live in Discord. That's what I'm using mostly. Client Farcaster is like a Twitter for crypto. If you don't know it, it doesn't matter. It's like Twitter. Client GitHub. Well, client GitHub is funny. There are today agents which work on GitHub and look at the code and propose modifications called PR, pull requests. So there are already autonomous agents trying to fix the code they found on GitHub. And one of them is used in this project, in Eliza Framework, which again, I repeat, is open. So the code is there, is open. And this agent's name is Soleng. And this is the creation of a lady who works in Anthropic. And just this would deserve like a couple of episodes of a technical podcast. Client Lens is another like decentralized Twitter. Client Slack, is this cooperation platform for work. Client Telegram, so you can have your agents on Telegram. Client Twitter, which is what most people are using. You have these annoying reply bots, etc. And these are the clients, right? You could create here a client for another platform you want to reach. Then we have the plugins. And plugins, there's many of them. At the moment, there's maybe 40 in the core package. Let's see a few of them. Let me learn while I do this episode at the same time. So we have plugin OG. I haven't seen this one, but there's a README in every plugin. So it says it's a plugin for storing data using the OG protocol. Well, I don't know the protocol, so I don't know what it is. Maybe something like IPFS or whatever. Just to be clear, the Eliza framework is not a crypto framework. You can use it without even thinking about crypto. You can use it without touching crypto at any level, right? It can, and it is very focused on crypto because there are many plugins for that, right? So let's go ahead. Plugin 3D generation, a plugin for generating 3D models using the Fell.ai API within the Eliza ecosystem. So you can do 3D models. Plugin abstract, a plugin for interacting with the abstract blockchain. I don't know the abstract blockchain, but you see a blockchain came here and said, it's kind of using this very, very famous framework now to get some eyeballs and to have people use the blockchain. So if you are a blockchain, maybe creating a plugin, which is basically low effort, can bring you users. Or in other words, your blockchain becomes agent user friendly or agent friendly. Okay, so it's really worth doing that. Aptos did it, Avalanche did it. Then we have plugin Coinbase, Bootstrap. Okay, that's a plugin, like an example. Plugin Coinbase, one of the most interesting because it's basically a comprehensive Coinbase integration, which provides access to various Coinbase APIs and services. Okay, which basically means, let me phrase this correctly because I'm not just throwing stuff out there, but some of this stuff is earth-shattering, right? Your agent can use Coinbase. Right? It can go in, I suppose. Let me read it. It deserves a bit more time. So what features? Commerce integration. Create and manage payment charges using Coinbase Commerce. I don't remember well what Coinbase Commerce is, but it's kind of like accept payments on your website or your app through Coinbase. So I'm sure it accepts like stable coins, USDC, etc. Then trading. execute trades and swaps between different assets. I don't know. I assume this is on the decentralized part of it, so Base rather than Coinbase. Token contract management, deploy and interact with ERC20s tokens, ERC721, ERC1155, NFTs, right? Both of them, smart contracts. So deploy NFTs, interact with contracts, deploy them, interact with them, mint stuff, etc. Mass payments, process bulk transfers and payments to multiple addresses. Advanced trading, access, oh, there you go. Access to Coinbase advanced trading API features. Advanced trading is on the Coinbase platform. It's not DeFi, it's CeFi. Your agent can do that now. Webhook management. Create and manage webhooks for various blockchain events. Okay, this is kind of reading and writing. Coinbase itself, or somebody in the Coinbase team, built this. It's not like some random developer who said, let's try to kind of fit in these things. No, Coinbase has come to Eliza and has built an integration to allow agents to use Coinbase. This is pretty big. Now, if you are a Web3 and travel startup and you want people to interact with your whatever you're doing, you had until today two choices. You tell people, get a wallet or get lost, right? This is Web3, this is decentralized, get a wallet or get lost. Or you could say, Web 2.5, yeah, we know it's difficult. Let me, create a wallet for you behind the scenes. Let me give you, a centralized account. And let me kind of give you NFTs, but I keep them for you until you decide to withdraw. And this whole Web 2.5 thing, which we were forced to do until, I would say, today. Today, you can say to the non-crypto users and to the crypto users, you know what? Forget the wallet. It's going to be dealt behind the scenes. Or, okay, let's go maybe later into depth, what people can do according to their capabilities. But just use the agent, which can go from tell the agent what to do in a kind of like ChatGPT way. So I tell you one thing, you do one thing. I tell you one thing, you do one thing. Or just give it a task and the agent will take care of it. Like, for instance, you could tell your user, let's say you are a booking platform, a Web3 booking platform, and your user could say, I want to book a place in Berlin from the 1st to the 5th of March 2025. My budget is $200, €200 a night for 4 people. Find me something, make a research, keep me posted, keep looking until you find something, and then alert me only when you find something which with this characteristic. Oh, by the way, here's the bookings I've done the other years. And so you can see actually the places I like to stay, the kind of hotels or apartments I like to book. And the agent basically monitors the market and comes back to you with proposals like once in a while. And you, at a certain point, you say, you know what, book it. And because you already put the money in the wallet, it could be simply your wallet, it could be a dedicated wallet for the agent. The agent books it on a decentralized platform, on Travala, Sleep.io, dTravel, etc. All right, that means that now these booking, decentralized booking platforms can actually become fully decentralized because we have removed the wallet problem. Your next question could be like, how fully decentralized? How do you control the agent? How do you know the agent is not stealing the money, etc.? That's for another time. But if you listen to this and you want to go and research, look for TEE, which is basically using the secure element of the hardware. But yeah, too much in one episode. Let's go ahead. Plugin Conflux or Conflux. I never heard it. README. It's for interacting with the Conflux blockchain. Another blockchain which says, you know what? Let's find, in a way, okay, let's not focus users anymore. Let's focus agents, because in a few years, agents will be 95% or 99% of users for blockchains. Maybe it's true, maybe not. I don't know, but maybe that's their bet. Another one is, there you go, Kronos. Oh, Kronos ZK EVM network. Could that be crypto.com? Kronos? ZK EVM network, maybe another blockchain they have. I don't know. Plugin echo chambers. What is that? Oh, nice. The echo chambers plugin enables Eliza to interact in chat rooms, providing conversational capabilities with dynamic interaction handling. Which is kind of what I've been trying to do. And it's kind of what the infinite rooms from the GOAT, the True Terminal, had done, and which is what really started all this in a way. But okay, anyway, chat rooms. Plugin EVM. EVM is the Ethereum virtual machine, is what every blockchain, every EVM blockchain kind of uses. Let us see. Yeah, well, this seems to be a plugin which allows you to interact with any EVM compatible chain. Plugin Fear Pro. Funny, there's only a README here. I don't know how it made it here. Anyway, plugin Flow blockchain. Okay, every blockchain seems to be jumping on this thing. Plugin Fuel blockchain. These are all blockchains I've never heard. So it could be that small blockchains are kind of leveraging this as a marketing tool. I don't know. Plugin Gecko. Okay, this one I think I added manually. It's just to get the prices from CoinGecko. Plugin Gitbook. Oh, it's that's pretty cool. So it allows it allows the agents to access any documentation on Gitbook. Plugin GOAT, maybe, let me read it. Yeah, Great On-Chain Agent Toolkit, which is, it's an open source framework for adding blockchain tools such as wallet, being able to hold or trade tokens, or interacting with blockchain smart contracts to your AI agents. Again, like the others, but like more general, more agnostic. Plugin ICP. ICP is the Internet Computer Protocol, another blockchain basically. Plugin Image Generation. So if you have heard about Midjourney, that's what it does. You can have an agent. Let me read it. A plugin designed for generating and managing images, providing features like image manipulation, storage integration, and optimized handling for various use cases. So let your agent do images. You may wonder how, using what? Well, probably you can connect to APIs of Midjourney, of Leonardo, of GPT, OpenAI, or open source stuff. There's lots of open source stuff. One of the best is Flux, which is open source, right? Plugin interface. What is interface? Well, you need to know what interface is, but it says butt plug, so let me skip over. Not sure there's something I can discuss here. Plugin Multiverse X. Oh, something comes to mind. If you are dTravel or Sleep.io or Travala or whatever, and you want people to book, let's say dTravel, which is the only one which, as far as I know, has its own inventory, right? If you are dTravel, and I have to remember to pass this to Cynthia later, and want people to basically book the vacation rentals, which you have collected in your work. Now you're trying to send them to the website of the owners, of the hosts, and to your own website. You could integrate this and have people integrate agents wherever they are to also book places on the dTravel network without even going to the dTravel network. Could be interesting. Plugin Near, it's a blockchain. Plugin NFT Generation, it's an NFT generation plugin. Plugin Node, I suppose this is something to do with Node.js, okay? Well, let's say it's technical stuff, but plugin Solana, all right? Solana is kind of, together with Base, the two chains where AI agents are happening are Solana and Base, most of it. And now maybe Starknet, because it has these ZK kind of capabilities. Is Starknet even ZK? I may be confused. Yeah, anyway, let's go ahead. Story, that was a big one, a big announcement as a partner, but the Story protocol I don't really know what it is. I know it does IP management. SUI, which is that's a blockchain. TE. Okay. Again, it was saying if you want to know how to make AI agents decentralized, look at the trusted execution environment, TE, and this plugin allows for that. Maybe let me read it. Let's a plugin for handling trusted execution environment, TE, operations, providing secure key derivation and remote attestation capabilities. This plugin provides functionality to generate secure keys within a TE environment, derive ED 25519 key pairs for Solana, and derive EC DSA key pairs for Ethereum. This is basically what a wallet does behind the scenes when you install a wallet. It creates private keys and public keys, right? And it's done in the secure environment of your device, so they cannot be stolen, right? And now agents can do this still in the same place in your computer, in your phone, but the agent does it. So the agent, as I was saying a few days ago on LinkedIn, agent is the new wallet. All right, let's go ahead. Generate remote attestation quotes, manage wallet interactions with TE derived keys. Basically, agents are gonna manage. Not only manage, even create your own wallets. Okay. Plugin Tone. This is the Telegram blockchain, very big. Plugin Top Signals. Well, this is my plugin and you won't see it. It's only local, but I mention it to make you understand where things go, right? So if you build a plugin, you're going to have it together with all the others, but only you will have it. If it's a good plugin and you think it can be useful, you propose to the Eliza Framework, which is not a company, by the way. It's like a DAO. Not a big thing to discuss here, what the DAO is doing. You propose it to the framework, and if enough people or the core maintainers think that this is interesting, they will share. They will basically add it to the core and share it with everybody else, and everybody else can use your framework, which is the same thing I was saying before, like for the travel. If it goes on the core, then everybody building an agent will be able to let the agent book on the travel. Okay, plugin TrustDB. Let me skip this one. This is big, but it's too long to explain. Plugin Twitter, plugin video generation. You want your agent to create a video, maybe because you want a PR like marketing agent, which creates videos and memes and stuff. You can use this plugin. Plugin Web Search, very basic one. You want your agents living, I don't know, on Discord or on Twitter or anywhere, to go on the web and perform a search and come back and say what they found. That's the plugin you're going to use. Plugin WhatsApp. So that should be a kind of a client, right? We said clients are where the agents live. Let me see why this is a plugin, not a client. Well, it allows you to integrate the cloud API. Yeah, it allows the functionality to send a text and template message via WhatsApp, handle incoming webhook events, basically getting messages, I suppose. Manage messages. Well, yeah, it allows you to interact with the WhatsApp cloud API, I suppose. So I don't know why it's not a client. Maybe, it's probably a technical reason. And plugin ZK Sync Era. Okay, that's another blockchain on the ZK blockchain. These are the plugins which are already in the core, but there are many others in the pipeline, and you can find them in GitHub on the pull request, where I order by number of comments and I see the most discussed things. Some of them are plugins. One is the CoinGecko plugin, but there are many plugins which are offering now the way to get the prices from the market. So I don't know if this is the one which will make it to core. Bird Eye is much more comprehensive, I think. It asks prices everywhere else. Let's see, a plugin Twilio, which can send messages using SMS or WhatsApp. Let's see, plugin T verifiable log. I don't know, I'm not gonna read, it's too much. Plugin Twilio again. Oh, there you go, an interesting one. Replaces the current plugin with Solana Agent Kit. So apparently, or potentially, Solana has created an agent kit. So they did all the work Base did, right? to make it easy to connect agents to the blockchain. And so far now we have somebody built a plugin, but now there's an agent kit, so it's kind of an upgrade. Okay. And yeah, let me see if there are a few more here. Implement Nostr client. Nostr is a Bitcoin based, or kind of used by the Bitcoin people, Twitter replacement. Add Bitcoin plugin with Taproot and Arc. Again, incredibly Bitcoin, which has always been this kind of unmovable stone. Because it's hard to manage, it can become, okay, let me phrase it like this. Bitcoin will become as easy as using Binance. So interacting with the Bitcoin blockchain, it's becoming as easy as interacting with Coinbase or with Facebook, because all the complexity will be managed by agents. You can think what this can mean in the long term. I don't know. Nobody knows where this can go, but I'm trying to create a new mental model here. Difficult things are not difficult anymore. Okay, maybe that's a good sentence. Let me say it again. Difficult things are not difficult anymore, because now we have personalized agents who can do everything, no matter how hard they are. And that's valid for everything, not only crypto. All right, integrate 11 Labs for Twilio call handling. Okay, 11 Labs is a voice startup for AI. Basically, it powers many of the voices you hear from AIs. I kind of forgot to say that the agents can already speak. You could conceive an agent which calls somebody and makes a reservation, maybe in a restaurant, or orders a pizza or whatever, using also the 11 Labs integration. There's probably no 11 Labs plugin, because you don't really need a plugin, you just need an API. Oh, look at this one. Ordinals and runes support true plugin ordinals. So basically a plugin for ordinals. Ordinals are these tokens and mostly NFTs, but you don't call them NFTs, you call them ordinals and they are different on the Bitcoin blockchain, and very hard to manage, extremely hard to manage for most people. But they are on the blockchain with the most liquidity. That's why they're successful. And what happens if it becomes as easy as saying, buy me this ordinal or sell me this ordinal? Who knows where this can go? All right. Oh, add Cardano blockchain plugin. Cardano is jumping on it too. Well, okay, I'll stop here. You got the idea, right? I guess the big picture is agents are exploding. They are in total hype. We are seeing the 200 meters wave, but it's only 20 meters to worry about. It was 2 meters or 1, whatever. Don't worry, it's just 20 meters. That's nothing. Stay on the beach and ignore them, right? Yeah, I'm being sarcastic, of course. This is really huge and is really, really fast. So I would say, let's talk about the Web3 in travel startup ecosystem, because we as our TechTrees have launched the second batch, and now we are starting off coming out with the message that you can apply to the batch, right? I personally have made it very clear that you need to integrate AI if you want to offer a mainstream decentralized app. This is the best news we could get in Web3 in travel. This is probably the best news we got in Web3 in travel for many years. It's not difficult anymore. Now, okay, I'm talking at the present. It's gonna take still a little bit, but they are out there. So if you are a Web3 in travel startup today, stop everything you're doing. Study AI and agents and see how to leverage them, because you may get stuck in the Web 2.5 thing, and I don't know if this is a good. Okay, of course, it always depends on your specific situation. I don't know if it's a good strategy. Or if you're launching and you are having ideas how to solve the infinite problems of the travel industry, you solve them through decentralization. And you don't get decentralization if people don't have wallets. I know I'm always repeating the same thing. Wallets, people do not have wallets because they are hard and dangerous. Agents are solving this problem. Your solution is in the agent. So really stop everything you're doing. I mean, I would stop everything I'm doing. And actually, I actually have stopped everything I was doing to go as deep as I can into the agentic world. And I come out now saying that's the solution. Now, do not misinterpret this in like, okay, launch an agent and your startup is going to be successful. There are not going to be problems. Everything's going to work. No, this is the phase in which you experiment and you break things and nothing works. All these plugins I've showed you are not working perfectly. There's errors. This is not when what most people do. They're going to make a big announcement. We are now agentic friendly or whatever, just for the marketing. Which may be fine, but you cannot really launch this tomorrow and basically crush your startup with it. You have to, in my opinion, be aware and start experimenting the integration. It really unlocks the other 98% of people, which have been so far excluded from crypto and then from Web3, basically. All right, I'll stop it here. I'll just say everything has changed. Everything is easy now. Web3 travel can go mainstream. Let's work toward it. And we're done. Thank you for listening to this episode. For more insights, follow me on Twitter at Tripluca, TRIPLUCA. If you enjoy my podcast and want to support it, head on to podcast.web3intravel.com, 3 is a digit, and mint an NFT. If you want to sponsor it, you can do it at the same page. I will mention you in the podcast, and your name will appear on all donation NFTs for a while. Thank you, and ciao.